All right. Hello, Home Service Pros. Welcome to the Battle Plan Marketing Podcast, episode number 159. Today we have Mr. Osh Sawa, General Manager, Mile High Plumbing, Electrical, and Air out of the greater Denver area on the show today. So without further ado, Osh, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you for having me, Mark. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys coming on, taking some time, sharing the skills and golden nuggets. So tell us what you do, where you do it, who you do it for out there, Osh.
Yeah. We're mainly a residential service, plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical company. Do some commercial. So basically anything that your home may need from a service standpoint, we can do it.
Nice. How long have you guys been active in the Colorado area? Denver?
Yeah. We've been doing this for about 6 years. But we got guys that have been in these trades for 20 plus years. So yeah, we got great team with a lot of experience, but I'm born and raised here, so very familiar with the market here in Arvada and, the greater Denver area. We do work, we'll go wherever. So whatever your home needs, we're here to service it.
I see you guys are going up to Boulder and, a little out of the reach there.
Sure. Yeah. Whoever wants to work with us, we want to work with them. That's our model,
I like it. Looks like you got a pretty good sized crew on your website. Your About Us page got a good sized crew. How many are you so far?
Yeah, there's between the office and all the technicians, we're right around 20.
Nice. Great size. Woman owned. I see. Is it a husband-wife team there?
Yeah. So my wife, yep, she's the owner. And then
awesome.
It's great. So my wife's the owner, along with John, who's my buddy, we've been best friends for almost 25 years.
Super excellent. Love it.
Yeah.
So what are the specialties? You prefer plumbing over HVAC and furnace work, or?
Really, we love it all. Especially like on the service and repair replacement side of things. That's our bread and butter. We don't really do. We don't do any like new construction. But anything, we'll jackhammer up, customers' homes, unfortunately, to make underground repairs. So basically anything that's on their property existing that needs to be repaired and replaced. We love to do it. Anything from the electrical systems, the HVAC, plumbing, really all three.
Gotcha. Big furnace time now, right? We're in the winter of 2025 here, February. So I imagine HVAC is dominating your, and maybe some burst plumbing. You got frozen pipes and stuff out there, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely cold out there. We started off as a plumbing company. So we just recently started to expand into the HVAC and electrical side of things.
Nice.
Plumbing is definitely our bread and butter, just because we've been doing it longer. So, but yeah, it definitely is that time of year for furnaces.
Yeah. Do you guys offer like a winterization, like you go out there and, insulate their exterior pipes and stuff like that, or?
We actually don't offer that service. Definitely on like the HVAC side of things, we do a lot of startups and like shutdowns for swamp coolers.
Okay.
Winterization there and stuff. But
I see.
In general, here in Colorado, things are plumbed in to be frost proof in general.
I see.
So like even the parts we use to, how we plumb it in, there's a lot of things that go into plumbing in a colder climate. There's energy codes that you got to make sure that you're not.
I see.
Yeah, heat transfer. So it definitely is. We definitely do see it in the market, and we do it, but it's not a big part of our business.
Gotcha. Do you guys have a maintenance plan on the plumbing or on the HVAC side?
So we don't currently. It's something that we're lacking. We grew so fast. It's a very competitive market here in Colorado, so we were just focusing on growing the business, and the growth that we saw last year, it was just really challenging because what was working whenever we were only a company of 4 people is not the same company whenever you got 20 people, So all of our resources have been going there. And,
Yep.
but we do have preventative maintenance plans, but not really like what a lot of the markets out there. It's basically custom to what the homeowner wants, but we don't really have like a one size fits all, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's about this time where companies start looking at that kind of stuff, maybe putting together so it gives you a little bit of recurring revenue. It's usually
It's a
not a profit maker. It's usually just a getting in the door of X homes per, year, and a certain percent of those are going to need more work and stuff.
it's definitely a proven concept, and
Oh
some like
yeah. There's service companies out there thriving on it. So,
oh for
and the
sure.
reason I brought it up was I was thinking you could possibly add the winterization thing to your maintenance plan.
Yeah.
Maybe something to think about down the road
Specific
there.
to the area. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, cool. I'm glad you got into the HVAC business. We got a couple clients that did the same, started in plumbing and converted over or added HVAC, hired a, serious technician specialist. So that's working out for you pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. We have a great team, man. I mean, we really try to focus on our culture here, building that family dynamic, if you will, where everyone's on board. And so we have a great team. The head of the HVAC department, his name's Gary. He's been doing this for 25, 30 years almost, and
Nice.
he knows it. He knows a lot.
Nice. What do you contribute? So you had a lot of growth in the last 2 years, it sounds like. What do you attribute that to?
um I think it's sticking true to what our mission is, and that's providing a good service at a fair price. I mean, there's whenever people you go into a customer's home and you treat that home like it's yours, and you treat that person like they're your family member. You want to make sure that you're providing them an adequate service, but if we were to go into everybody's home, I mean, you could pick apart a system and find so much wrong with in somebody's home, but
100, yeah.
that's not the way that we play. We really do just look out for our customers' best interest
Nice.
and, build that relationship with them. And it seems to go a very long way.
Nice. Yeah, I have we put in a HVAC system about, I want to say 8 or 9 years ago. And ever since we've had the same company come out twice a year to, tune it up, the furnace and the AC. And every single time they come out with something else could be purchased or something. And it's always different. And, so, they did a good job on the install and all that, but man, I definitely do not appreciate every single time there's a different thing, that they present. So being honest and straightforward, man, is everything. Like I would not go back to that guy, nor would I recommend him now to other
Exactly.
companies,
Yeah, and
just for that silliness.
it's tough because that's we're obviously in the business to make money, right? But whenever you're masking a a plan or some type of service like for something that it's not, and because we do see that in the industry as well, and really why we also haven't came up with like that annual membership type thing is I want to make sure that it really provides the value to the customer,
Yeah.
because I know once I do figure out a really good plan that we can offer to everybody,
Hmm.
they're going to want it just because of the value that's inside of it,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Better to be slow and be accurate,
100%.
and have the culture built into it. Yeah, exactly.
Yes
It'd be
sir.
one thing if these guys showed up and said the same things that the last guy did, but they don't.
Yeah.
So as soon as they did that 2 or 3 times, I was done.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's all good. So a little bit of commercial work, not too much.
Yeah. We definitely service, yeah, but it's definitely more so like residential single family.
Yeah,
We
that's
do
good.
work for property management companies. We do HOAs. So the term commercial, at least here, it kind of is used loosely in the sense that if you're
Well,
a
that's
commercial
good.
plumber, you just do new construction. But then some
Right,
people will say you're a commercial plumber if you will service a commercial building or a multifamily residence. So
right.
depending on what your definition of commercial is, it's
Good point.
we definitely do, but we a lot of the multifamily, even some businesses, but it's definitely mainly residential.
Nice. Yeah, good point. Touche.
Yeah.
Which leads me to the next question was like, it sounds like you are soliciting like referral partners, property managers, realtors, these kinds of things. Is that an active pursuit on you guys' behalf or?
It is, man. I mean, you know, it's a tough niche to get into because there's a process, it's a lot more involved,
It's
but
relationship.
relationships, yeah, and just even working through, your vendor's process. There's
Yeah.
approvals, there's portals, there's, vendor packets and keeping up to date with all of the paperwork that comes along with it. But,
Right.
we found that a lot of companies don't want that type of work. And we've been able to build a very solid foundation around that type of work. So it's been
That's good.
good.
That's good. Know your target market, right?
Exactly.
And you're right. So with that comes some extra work that yeah, getting their software portals and things like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
super. Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot a little here, Ash. So if I was a prospect, why would I choose your guys' company, Mile High Plumbing and Heating and Air,
Yeah. I mean,
electrical?
yeah, it goes right back to, just our mission, and that's providing a great service for a fair price. I mean, we the reason why I got into this industry, I've had a couple businesses before this, but the reason why I got into this industry was just due to the lack of like I felt almost the lack of transparency that I was getting every time I called somebody out. I was always getting a different, like you said, I was always getting a different diagnosis. It
Yep.
felt like, and people weren't really taking the time to explain a system to me because at that, before I got into this line of work, I wasn't really familiar with a plumbing system or HVAC system or how my electrical panel feeds, the rest of my house or,
Right.
anything like that. So whenever we sit down and take the time to explain things to the customer and providing them options and what the difference in those options are and why there's a price difference in those options, taking that time to really break things down because we do flat rate, we don't charge hourly. So,
Nice.
because everything we're transparent from the beginning. It doesn't matter if we run into any,
Right.
now whenever we think that we're going to run into some unforeseen issues, we definitely do put in those disclaimers and hey, this is a
Right.
situation that we've seen in the past that can lead to XYZ. But yeah, people just see it's we try to make it as easy on the homeowner because everybody's coming to us with their problems. Nobody's ever calling and saying, "Hey, my furnace is
Everything's
working great. Yeah, it's a
yeah,
perfect temperature in here, and I got hot water." And so,
right.
only calling us under a stressful situation
Definitely.
where we take that time to really just break it down and let them know that we are there for them because our main goal is obviously to be the only company that, and whenever we walk into somebody's doors, we only want them to call us. We're in it for
Right.
the long term, regardless of what the job is at that moment, whatever the scope, the price. We're in it for the right reasons, and it just shows whenever our technicians are taking the time to explain things and their thoroughness, and their knowledge and
I
their
like it. So
trainings.
the culture of your company, reliability, honesty, transparency, like the
Absolutely,
flat rate pricing, everybody should be on that, I think.
yeah.
How are you building that culture internally, Yasha? What kind of training is going on?
Oh man, we are always investing in our technicians. We'll have suppliers and manufacturers come out to our shop and do trainings here. We'll go do trainings at their facilities. We just had a chief inspector come in and do a 3-day course only on the plumbing code. I'd say 80% of my guys are masters. But even then, we still spend that
Yeah,
time and invest in, getting somebody to come over here to teach us, about the codes and how things are changing and
yeah,
from a different perspective too, because he's an inspector. So, just
nice.
it puts it all together, right? We understand our side of it. The homeowner has their side, but also understanding that the code officials, it just it makes all of it come together. And whenever
Yeah,
the inspectors do come and check our work, it all makes sense. So we do spend a lot of money on just investing in our team, and
nice.
a lot of time too, and we try to do
Yeah,
outings and fun stuff as well. So
nice. There you go. There you go. Building that sort of family brotherhood culture there
absolutely,
too.
it takes a village, my friend.
how are you stopping them from like being like my guy? Always trying to upsell when it's not necessarily. So how do you keep them, reliable, honest, forthright, upfront, all that stuff? What
Yeah,
are you doing there?
you know, every first of all, during every meeting, every weekly meeting that we have with each department, we make it very clear that we are here for the customer. Without the customer, Mile High
We're
doesn't
all
exist. Right? Like for any business. So,
right.
making it very clear that hey, if like we do not play that game of because you walk into a customer's home, you could pick apart the system and find so much wrong
100.
with it.
Yeah.
But you know, making sure that they know that hey, we are in this for the long term, and that's what we also focus on in the cultures. We really want people that want to be the people that are here. We want them to be here.
Right.
And
Right.
so they also understand that hey, there's going to be an opportunity to go back and do that repipe or that water heater down the road if you execute this as well. And another big part of that is also if one of our guys don't know something, we have a great team that on the back end that will help them walk through a problem because I feel like sometimes whenever it's like a different, like you said earlier, where you're getting a different diagnosis every time, it could be a lack of knowledge on the technician side of
Very
things,
true. Yeah.
and they just don't know. So
Yeah.
telling them, hey, if you need to tell the customer that, because we do also have apprentices that are not masters, so even if you
Right.
got to tell the customer, hey, this is something that I'd really like to either make a phone call on or get somebody out here, that transparency, it's all about
Yeah.
that transparency.
Yeah. Yeah. The customer appreciates that. I don't want you trying to wing it.
Yeah,
So
for sure. And on the
yeah.
higher level, we make sure that we're reviewing our estimates, like especially the bigger the ticket, the more I'm like, hey, what's going on here?
Gotcha.
What's happening, making sure that they're, solving the problem the right way in
I
the most
like
cost effective way.
I like it. Do you do any kind of performance pay at all, Osh? Like tying it to review bonuses or things like that? Any kind of
Yeah, definitely. Reviews, and just how many calls they're executing, and the customer's feed because we'll pick up the phone and just say, hey, we know we had our technician out. How's everything
nice?
going? And you know, definitely a lot of it's important. We really want people to feel like this is their business as well, like
Yeah.
our team, right? So it's like, even on the office staff what you almost although we're all on the same team, but they get incentives for making sure that the technicians are doing everything from A to Z,
Right.
So
Right.
definitely a lot of incentives and it keeps things interesting and fun and keeps that positive vibe because they feel that whenever they're giving back to the company is giving back to them. It's always got to be a two-way.
Yeah. I love that follow up call, like after the job. I don't know, if you companies can pull that off all the time, but that man, as a customer, you feel really good that you got that call. Just think of it yourself, receiving that call if you had the service, just following
Sure.
up, making sure everything was done well. That's going to lead you to the reviews and referrals and repeat business and all that stuff. All those little tiny little extra services.
Yeah, literally treating it's like I said, just putting myself in the position that I was in and being like, hey, how would I want a service company to treat me? That's what,
Exactly. Nice. Good job, man. Good job.
thank you.
What's the biggest challenge at the moment, Ash? What's the big boulder in the path right now?
Yeah, the biggest struggle right now, I would say, is finding good team around you. It's so important that because the reality is, without the team that we have, Mile High wouldn't be anything.
Right. Right.
And so finding good people that want to be a part of that culture and that also share the same vision as you because there's times where I've seen technicians come in and man they know everything, right, but their personal skills are not there and
Right.
customers they're getting frustrated because the customer's not agreeing with their diagnosis, which we see a lot of, but I'm the
Right.
homeowner and but this is the way it happened. It's like, well,
Right.
but this is the reason it's happening. And so just having people that understand that, the customer is not, they don't know what's going on. So for,
No, that's why they're calling you. Yeah, we're
yeah,
not a
exactly.
plumber.
And so for you to get frustrated because the customer's not understanding, and
Yep.
So just really, it's building that team around you. I mean, luckily, there's no shortage of work around here. Then the Denver
Nice.
market's just booming, and um, so it's really just finding a good team that shares that vision with you.
That's great, man. Yeah, I agree completely.
Yeah.
What software tools are you guys using a CRM? What tool would you like if somebody tried to take it away, just bite their arm off?
Oh man, definitely our CRM. So
Yeah,
we use House Call Pro. Um, I
great
would say,
system.
yeah, it's a great system for sure. I mean, I do feel like we're starting to outgrow it.
Mm,
Just from what I do a lot of research online about what some of these bigger guys are
yeah,
using. But the thing is House Call Pro is just so great. Their support, all the features. It's great, but it's so hard to like look into what we would switch to because we're just trying to keep up with the workload.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. It's hard to examine, take time out
yeah,
and start examining. Are you looking at Service Titan or something else, or
yeah, definitely. But it really is that, and having the technician be able to like pull up and just see a nice track record of everything that's been happening, and
yeah,
you know, having a good CRM is so important. Which
yeah,
again, House Call Pro is, but
yeah?
yeah, you got it definitely. I've
If you
had tech.
make that jump, I recommend getting a consultant. So a Service Titan consultant. Gosh, there's a woman out there who's a master at it, and I forget her name right now, but because it is a big transition. It's definitely worth it. It's an awesome system, but big transition, and it could really shake up the system. The
Sure.
people in the staff. So look at a consultant or talk to other guys in the field. I'm sure you're staying in tune with podcasts and stuff out there. Maybe talk to
Yeah, for
some
sure.
of the yeah, talk to some of the guys. There are a few consultants out there who will come in, as they're bringing in that system for you and train you and your team and stuff. And I think the people who do that transition quicker and with less error and all that good stuff.
It's definitely a big jump. It's
It's a big jump. Yeah, it's a big jump. So right now your price book is in House Call Pro. Guys are going out in the field, good, better, best options and things like that.
yeah, yeah, pretty
Excellent.
much the standard. Yeah, I mean, there's um, it's just it is a proven. People like options. I mean, I like options.
Yeah, 100. Good, better, best. Let
Yeah,
them. Otherwise, you're a sales guy. If you're trying to push
absolutely.
a single solution, you're a sales guy. The guard goes up right away. Even it's
Yeah,
in our DNA. It might even not. You know. So give a couple of options and a recommendation.
yeah, absolutely.
You guys offer financing, I imagine, with
We do.
HVAC systems, yeah,
Yep.
and run into that with repipes and other things as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. It helps customers, approve, get jobs done,
Yeah,
and because unfortunately, a lot of these issues that are happening, it's like, oh my gosh, my furnace went out, or I'm backing up
right.
and my drain and my slab is completely corroded. So having those financing options, which is definitely super important.
Yeah,
It was hard at first getting something that was like tied into our system. They want to see a track record, so they don't
right,
make it easy for on you at the beginning. But once they see that, like, okay,
right.
this is a legitimate operation here, then they'll start reaching out, and
Yeah,
providing those
100.
options definitely helps.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of room for fraud in that world, I guess. So they
Yeah,
have to be careful. Lenders have to be careful. Who are you using? Just for the guys who are listening, guys and gals who are listening, who currently aren't offering financing.
yeah. I'm currently using WiseTech, which is like an add-on from House Call Pro.
Oh, okay.
So it's the efficiency. That's what we really focus on is
So
the
it's built
efficiency.
into the system.
Exactly.
Nice. So just
Yeah.
pay now kind of thing or
One
whatever.
yep, one button, it's you can send them the estimate and everything is there. The price breakdown, the financing options. It's
I
great.
like it. I like it. I like it. That's great.
Yeah.
What would you consider? Well, let's talk marketing a little bit. What's the worst marketing you ever spent a dollar on?
I would say postcards.
Postcards,
I
direct
worked
mail.
with Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I worked with, one of the big guys. And I also don't think that I really had like a solid vision and plan for executing that. So I can't just blame them. But I mean, we dropped a lot of flyers and I didn't see anything. And marketing is a challenge, man. It is so hard to know where you
100.
should spend your money, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And you don't know until you spend some and maybe lose some and then withdraw, or, what was the game plan? Yeah. Post direct mail, you need direct response, right? Direct response marketing. So it has to be a goal and only one offer. The thing I see that a lot of people make mistakes on, they put like 3 offers, 5 offers on the postcard or whatever they're mailing, sending out. The rule in marketing is one offer. It's one offer. You could have a bonus, free bonus or something, but really just focus on one thing and then have like a QR code or something on that postcard that takes them to a landing page that has an opt-in. But you're right. It's, you got to test a lot of stuff and see what works in your local area and what the offer, one offer may work where another one doesn't, so on and so forth.
Yeah, for sure.
Tough racket. How about, so you guys doing Google ads, search ads?
So it's crazy. We actually don't market at all.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, word of mouth, and again, having those good vendors that value
Referral
you.
partner.
Yeah, like because there's a lot of companies out there where they don't value what you're bringing to the table, and they're
Right.
just out there to just nickel and dime you. But we grew. So November 2023, I had one employee, and then like we're all 2024. We
Wow.
literally got up to like 20. We actually had even more. Um,
Wow.
and 20 right now we're currently at like right around 20, but we don't without any marketing.
That's awesome, Osh. So in the
Mhm.
last like year and a half, basically, is your big boom.
Yeah, I mean it was the first 3 years, man. I mean it was tough,
Tough. Yeah.
but we took it day by day. I took it day by day, and our reviews are great, and
Yep.
just
I don't know
keeping.
if I mentioned that. So 4.9 rating on Google, almost 400 reviews, great reviews everywhere else, Facebook, Yelp. So
Yeah,
hats off to you, man, for,
thank you, sir.
putting it in the time. So the referral partners and quality work is what you're attributing your growth to.
Yeah, I'm hopeful to start marketing this year, because it really does bring like a whole different, like, it brings so much more to your business. Like, and my suppliers and my distributors are so great in like helping, because they want me to grow. They want me
Right?
to buy more of their stuff, and it's just so hard knowing where to focus those marketing dollars at.
Yeah.
So that's why we're kind of like having a hard time, but I do want to definitely like explore that more. I've done what everybody's done, the paid ads. I've ran some Google ads, but
Right.
if you
Yelp
don't have,
ads.
yeah, and like even paying for the leads, just like from one of those the guys that sell leads directly to you, but
Yeah.
it helped to start, but sustainability. I mean, we really focused on building a solid foundation, and now I think it's time for us to build up.
Yeah. Yeah. I would recommend going internally first, right? So like an email newsletter to your team, to your existing clientele, going out once a week, once every 2 weeks with not promotional crap, but, how to winterize, your
Yeah,
plumbing, how to, spring, get it ready for spring, whatever, what not to flush down the drain, what not to put down the toilet, so on and so forth. Information articles. And then every 3 or 4 months, you can shoot out a text campaign with a special offer. And man, those things, if you're doing quality, everything you're doing is right, and you're staying connected with that email newsletter, you may not get a lot of business out of it, but very little expense to do it and great ROI on the return you do get. But what it'll also do is prep people for a text campaign, which you can do too often. So only every 3 or 4 months, one blast. And, like I think we just did one for a HVAC company on a water heater flush. And man, I got like 100 jobs.
Wow.
And we drip out the campaign. You drip out the campaign. Don't do it all at once. Drip
Yeah.
out the campaign. So, but you can only do that about every 3 or 4 months. So, and then a referral program where you also announce that by email. So
Yeah.
build internally, I would recommend first. If
I
you're
love
not
it.
dying and trying to roll trucks out there every day, then, and then probably Google search ads would be next. That's the highest intent. Those people have a problem, they're looking for a solution. Yelp and all the rest get a little tricky. How about social? I'll show you guys organic social posting.
Yeah. We had somebody that was in house full time posting,
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, good. And I'm happy for her. She got she found something that worked better for her, and we've tried to since then get some more people internally to do that, because it's being consistent is important. And we were doing a great job with being keeping that flow out there, posting every day. But yeah, I mean, social media is so important, man. Like,
Yeah.
I all I do is watch plumbers videos on my reels.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's how the look at it too. Is like, what do you do as a consumer? Right? So, as a marketing guy, I would say that's your next. So, back to your original customers, and yeah, my next hire, if I were you, Osh, would be that internal person again. Social media, posting endlessly every single day, organically, and you'll own your market eventually. Get that person to go into all the local city groups. Into the the Denver group and the Boulder group and so on and so forth. And just answer questions a lot, help more than you're promoting,
Yeah,
and you'll kick ass, man. I mean, you could
I
literally
appreciate
live
that.
off of that. It takes time to build, but it sounds like you have a foundation there. So go back
Yeah,
to that, man, instead of wasting money on Yelp and other things that
sure.
they can work, but and social is hard to get measure your return, but trust me, everybody who's killing it today has got a killer social presence.
Yeah,
All right. What's the best marketing dollars you ever spent? Sounds like going to your referral partners or.
yeah. And I would say that certain pay per lead sources are, there's, I've tried a lot of them. There's a couple of them out there that are really good. And for direct, like, easy to track. And I guess the reason why I would say that those are the best dollars I've spent, because it's the easiest to track. Like, where they called you from,
Yep.
what their job value was. Whenever I was running like the paid ads on Google, they would give me the metrics and everything if I logged into, the portal and was
Right.
reviewing. But as it's hard, to keep up with that. But whenever like I'm in, a pay per click, I'm sorry, a pay per lead like portal, it's easy to say, oh my gosh, like I remember that customer's name, because that was a really good job out
Right.
of that.
Right.
So the only reason I would say that that's probably the best marketing dollars I've spent was only because of the trackability of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And the ease of doing it. Google
Yeah.
Ads, most people set up Google Ads incorrectly, and conversion tracking is usually not done well. And it's, changed in the last year and a half or so. So yeah, if you're not tracking that properly, you don't know if you're spending properly, right? So
They're
crazy,
constantly
crazy.
changing that algorithm, man. It's
Yeah, yeah, and it can get costly. You lose a lot of money fast.
yeah,
Let's see what else we got. How about community outreach? Anything else locally? Do you sponsor any
yeah,
events or teams or anything?
definitely. We try to go out to like our, you know, whenever we had our internal marketing person, we were doing a lot of that. Going out to sponsoring golf
Nice,
tournaments and church golf, church events, and
right?
um, really whatever we could. But with it's just so hard because that stuff, whenever you get caught up in the daily grind, it's hard to
Time,
like think outside of what we have going on here.
right?
So
Yeah,
it does get a little difficult that we haven't been doing it as much, but I mean, we love it. We'll definitely donate and do what we can here and there, but I really do want to be showing up more in our local community to show them that we are a part of this community. Like,
Right.
yeah, absolutely. Again, we're here to grow our business, but we really want people to feel, whenever we walk into a customer's home, we want to feel welcome there, and we want to
Yep.
feel welcome in our community. So
Yeah.
showing them that we care about this community and that we care about being here, that is something that, like, it is a goal for us for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Good. I can tell, man. You guys are walking the walk there.
Yeah.
What advice would you give somebody just starting out, Osh?
I would say one day at a time. It's whenever we started this, like, I knew what I wanted out of it, and definitely have that vision,
Right.
definitely have a vision as well, and know where you want to go, and focus on that, because it's going to be a lot of hard days and a lot of long nights, and you
Yeah.
know and not a lot of money. You're
Yeah.
lose your butt probably in the beginning, but
Yep.
just taking it one day at a time, man, one call at a time, and
Yep.
and having that long-term vision. That's what it is.
I like it. Do
Yeah.
you enroll in any like masterminds or occasional training yourself, Osh? Or
I don't. I don't. I try to learn.
are you
I'm
watching
surrounded.
YouTube channels or things
Yeah,
like
for
that?
sure. I definitely will.
Podcasts?
My podcast. Definitely do some reading. Read some of the guys that I like to follow are like Patrick Bet David. Tony
There you go.
Robbins, of course. Like, those guys, Gary Vaynerchuk. So those guys like that. That it's really a mindset, as opposed to a skill
Yep.
set. I believe
Yep.
entrepreneurship is, like, if you just have that mindset of, I'm not going to stop trying and I'm not going to give up. And because every day is a challenge, man. And as long
Yeah.
as you have that mindset of not giving up, I mean, so definitely consuming. That's a lot of the content I do consume is literally just, entrepreneurs and people talking about just how hard their life was before they got to where they're at.
Right. Right.
Elon Musk Tesla was about to go broke,
Right.
and people obviously don't remember those days. All they say now is, man, Elon's so lucky, he's so rich. But man, what that guy probably went through, who knows what his challenges looked like.
Right. Right. Well, that's good. Good advice. Good advice.
Yeah.
What is there an ultimate goal, Osh? You got an end game? You're gonna leave it to the kids, sell it to the employees, haven't just thought about it, or maybe sell to private equity or something like that?
My long-term goal is for my team around me to be able to look back and say, that Osh is all right, and I think that's going to guide me and kind of take this
I
wherever
like
it needs to go,
that's great.
and so, like, no plan. I mean, I definitely would love for my kids to take it over one day, and
Nice.
but I mean, the long-term goal is, like I said, I want to try to change as many lives around me, my customers, everybody. And I think, you know, exiting at some point, maybe, but at the same time, that's really, it's barely a thought. I just want to see what we can do with the, we're all just normal people, that are in
Yeah.
this office,
Yeah.
and I want us to look back and say, like, hey, we did something special, and
Nice.
continue to grow and hopefully change, the team's kids, and like, I want this to be
Sure.
nonstop, you
Yeah,
know.
you're affecting 20 families right now, Osh. So I
Yeah,
like how you said my ultimate goal is to just say, hey, that Osh guy was a good guy. That speaks to your culture right there, Osh. That's why you grew so fast in a year and a half, man. Because
yeah,
that speaks to how you're treating people and how you're treating employees and customers and everything. I like it. Don't worry, 99% of guys have not thought about what they want to do with their company. They're just going through the day to day,
yeah,
myself included, by the way.
yeah,
Just trying to make it work and support the people we're on both sides, the customers and the employees or contractors or whatever, right? So
sure.
awesome, man.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
How about AI? You using AI or starting to look at AI at all, Rosh?
I've been wanting to try some AI things, like the scheduling, the virtual assistant type. but I just can't get myself to pull the trigger on it because I know whenever I call somebody, I want to speak to somebody,
A
fast. Like
human,
your time is valuable, right? Everybody's time is valuable. It's
right?
literally like the most limited resource in this world
That's
is
all
your
we
time.
got.
Yeah,
That's it.
and so we literally just invested for a whole new phone system to make sure that we're answering calls quicker and
Nice.
yeah. So I, I do know that. I mean, AI, we definitely utilize it for sure. Like on the back end, like I use it, helping prepare documents, employee handbooks,
There you
everything. Definitely use it on that extent. But I'm sure that there's so much that there is out there for AI. Like I just saw this system that it's a AI camera scope where like it uses AI to tell you exactly what's going on, so that literally anybody could just put a camera down there, and everything that's wrong with the pipe, it'll tell you it's a
go.
separation,
Wow.
it's
For
roots,
a
it's
drain line, you mean, or
yeah,
wow,
exactly. Yeah,
wow,
like it's crazy, man. I mean, again, it's because my feed, I just I that's the type of content I consume, so obviously it's targeted ads.
nice. Yeah, yeah, sure.
So yeah, I definitely want to look into it. I do believe
That's
that.
wild, man. Is that
Yeah,
built into the camera system? Like it's part of
yeah,
the system
and
itself?
yeah, I believe. I mean, I
Who's,
haven't looked into it
you know
much.
who it was, the manufacturer?
I don't, man.
That's all right.
I saw it. It comes up on my feed like it's multiple times, but literally like it just shows from what the ad is it's showing you like the display,
Right,
and it's just like them pushing the camera down the drain down the
right.
sewer, and then like it's like it'll just pick up
Tree
the
roots or,
yes, or the separation or the belly, and
oh,
it's like it'll like highlight it and like kind of clip it, and I don't know, it's crazy. So AI
nice.
is definitely, I think, will be very helpful for the industry, because even that it's like, hey, this is
Yeah,
consistent with my findings, right? Like
right,
the
right.
AI found that there's a separation here. I'm telling you that there is. It just adds another layer of transparency, and I'm just
Yeah,
a big
yeah. Yeah, and excellence, right? And so it's picking up maybe cracks and stuff that you're not seeing yourself or whatever.
sure.
I don't know. I don't know how that system's working, but yeah, we use it a lot for tasks. In fact, OpenAI just came out with a 4.0 scheduled tasks, and now you can make it schedule tasks just as it sounds. So it's pretty
Wow.
crazy. Yeah. So
It's crazy technology, man.
yeah, I've been personally building like a little army of OpenAI bots to for like each single task that I do. That where I
Wow.
need that help, I use it. So like your marketing person, whoever you bring on for social, can use it for creating content. Of course, establish your brand voice. So you can use it to create a brand voice. You can have it read your website, your reviews on Google and Yelp and elsewhere, and it'll get a feel and it'll, you can ask it questions. Help me establish my brand voice. And then at the end now it sort of has your culture built into it. And
Yeah.
now you can write marketing content with it, ads
That
and
is
social
cool.
posts and stuff like that. Yeah, super cool. Um,
There's so much of the marketing game. It's crazy, Mark.
yeah, it is crazy. And it's
Like
moving fast, man. AI
like
will
what you're
dominate.
telling me. Yeah.
Crazy, crazy. What what did I not ask you, Ash, that you'd like to talk about? Anything I didn't bring up? What you got going on? Are you
I think
expanding?
I think the biggest thing about this industry is, and something that I definitely want to touch base to, especially like any of the younger guys, gals that are looking for a purpose or looking for something to do with their lives, man, getting into a trade.
Yeah.
So you know, I went to a big university here. I got an electrical engineering degree.
Mhm.
I've had multiple businesses. I've done a lot of different things. If I could go back, to whenever I was 17, 18 years old, whenever I graduated high school, I would have totally just became either a plumber, HVAC technician, or an electrician. I mean, not only is the opportunity so endless,
Yeah.
and you will never stop learning. The industry is always, changing and
Yeah.
expanding. And, so aside from the fact that, like, even if you're like a big learner, there's no shortage of information to be learned out there.
You will not run out.
Yeah. But the biggest thing is just, it will change your life, for you to be able to get into a career where, man, I take my hats off to all these tradesmen and tradeswomen out there that, are out there working. Who else is doing this work? People do not understand how important it is to have a technician in your home that can be able to service your system,
Yeah.
and the respect and appreciation that, because I get it. Our customers will call me. I just want to say, your technician did such a good job. Our system's working great. Like, I'm so
Nice.
grateful that we called you guys. We get those calls, and whenever, like, and I've gotten that call about some of my work, and it's just,
Feels good.
it's so, oh man, it's so rewarding,
Yeah.
and you just feel like it creates this like snowball effect of, like, I could solve that problem, and then you
Right.
get something, a personal problem, and you're like, well, just yesterday I was facing a problem that I had no idea about, and I was able to work through that. Like, I can work through this.
Right.
This
Oh, good point.
industry,
I like that.
yeah, I mean, this industry will change your life,
Yeah.
and if you have good, and like a lot of my, not all of them, but a lot of my techs, they'll tell you themselves, they didn't even make it to high school, but now they're
Right.
master plumbers who are
Right.
doing really well for themselves, doing it better
Right.
than a lot of the engineers that I went to school with,
Yep.
because, you know, we know the way that's going, right? With the AI conversations, like, who knows? I mean, it's just, that's a completely different path that I'm glad I didn't go down. And it's cool, man. To anybody listening and to anybody that's looking for a purpose and looking for something that is so rewarding, you feel good. You like, there's no way that you walk out of a customer's house without being like,
Right.
I'm glad I did that,
Right.
and it's
Right.
a great career. Like, there's the potential is endless.
Good money. Could become your
Yeah,
own business owner if you want, if you get the skills to do that.
absolutely.
Even if not, you can make a ton of money. And you
Yeah.
make good money out of the gate, actually, without having to go to college and
No,
get yourself in debt for tens of thousands of
yeah,
dollars.
man. I got a couple of apprentices now that, right out of high school, and
Beautiful,
they love it, and I'm like,
right?
dude, you have no idea what you're doing here. By the time that they're
Yeah,
graduating college, they're gonna have a lot of debt. And not that I'm against college, I I went to college, but it's just, this path is, I really feel like I found my calling and my purpose, and
nice.
I try to share that with everybody because
Yeah,
it's such a beautiful thing.
yeah, that is beautiful. Yeah, you're right. Every single day, you're fixing somebody's problem, and they were in some sort of despair before you got there, and they feeling good when you left, right?
Yeah,
The wallet might be a little lighter, but the the problem is taken care of, and there's a smile on their face. Yeah, I agree, man. So college isn't for everybody. A lot of people go down college, even though they don't want to, because they're told over and over that that's the path. You can't succeed unless you go that way. So yeah, if
that's
you're at all inclined with your hands, man, definitely
sure. And
look at
even
the trade
even
route.
if you're not, you could learn it.
You can learn
And
it.
it's like, I wasn't that guy. I was a conceptual thinker. I was always on the back end. But like, once I started plumbing, man, I love it. It's
Yeah,
so rewarding. Like, looking at something that, like, I would just, like, especially whenever I first started plumbing, like, I'd look at something and be like, yeah, like, that's cool. It works now. It's fixed. It's not
I love
leaking.
it.
It looks
I love
pretty.
it. I love it. Yeah, it's great advice. Hopefully more. And the trades are in need. You pick a trade; they are down by millions of tradespeople. So you
Yeah,
know, you can get into anything. A lot of money in HVAC. If you're looking at money or whatever, a lot of money in there's a lot of money in all the trades, quite honestly.
sure.
Hey, you do electrical too. It's in the name, and I forgot to bring that up. So, are you replacing a lot of electrical panels due to insurance letters going out and saying they have to change them?
Um, I would say more for real estate deals.
Oh,
That's where we're seeing that. We don't get much of that. Um, from like the insurance, but definitely we do a lot of insurance work, and that is sometimes a requirement. But
I see.
mainly, whenever.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, just mainly, whatever system, because again, it's a costly repair, costly
That's a
replacement.
costly
So,
repair.
they're kind of waiting till, you know, they're kind of waiting for that moment where they absolutely have to,
Yeah.
and but that's again, what's cool is we, as long as it's safe, we'll repair it, for the customer. We'll repair it for you. You want us to repair this, like, because all you're going to do is essentially get yourself more work because it's going to fail, and you're telling the customer that, hey, like, this is a repair that I can make. It's a band-aid. It's not ideal.
Temporary.
It's a temporary fix, and then it's their decision. But we definitely do get those replacements as well.
I see. Yeah, out here in California, man, their insurance is sending letters like crazy to, if you don't change your electrical panel, your insurance is going up big time.
Yeah, because they'll catch on fire.
Yeah, I guess that's probably the problem is all the big fires out here in California. Yeah, so yeah.
Electrical is the newest of the trades that we've picked up. So it was like plumbing first, then HVAC, and then electrical. So, it's definitely in its infancy, if you will, but I mean, we've had a great, we've gotten some pretty good work.
Nice start. Are you, what's the dominant services there that you're doing in electrical?
I would say mainly, on the electrical side, it's really actually been like new services and customers saying, hey, mainly upgrades. I'm not having
Upgrade,
enough. Yeah. So it is those panel changes, but not necessarily due to,
not insurance.
because a lot of my vendors, they're like, hey, I have a tenant that's moving in. They need more power,
I
or,
see.
I'm cutting up the space into four now, or
I
like,
see.
for example, going from four to one bigger space. Well, now they need one bigger panel that's gonna. So on that side, it's definitely more of like the upgrades. People
I got
they want more power.
you. Yeah, more power. So they brought in whatever wine
Yeah,
cooler or swimming pool or something, and
exactly,
then boom, I need 220 or whatever.
exactly.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Very nice. Osh, how do people get a hold of you and your company?
Yeah. So you can give us a call at 303-859-0100. That's our company phone number. And my direct line is 303-910-4122. I'm always happy to talk to customers or talk to anybody. You can also get us on our website at milehighmep.com. So it's mile high and then M for mechanical, E for electrical, P for plumbing. So milehighmep.com.
Nice.
And also our email, which is support@milehighmep.com.
Nice. And on all the socials, just
Yeah,
search them
Mile
out.
High Plumbing. Yep, Mile High Plumbing LC is you'll find us online if you through our website. There should be links to our socials there.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Osh, thanks for sharing the knowledge, man, the skills, dropping some nuggets. Appreciate it, man.
absolutely. Thank you for having me, Mark. It was
Yeah.
fun.
All the listeners out there, thanks for listening to the world's worst podcast.
Oh no, it's awesome.